From the first call, I was pretty sure that I wanted to go ahead with Lilac Buds. You had me on the first call. I think I had my first call with Prayash, the first counseling, and I realized that I wanted a team which would just let me be stress-free throughout the entire process. I should not have to, be constantly calling people that, okay, I need an update on this, or, what should I do? It was very smooth that way. And I realized that in the very first conversations with you. And already the entire process of applying is very stressful. So you need to have some sort of a mentor who's always there for you to, make you understand about things, to help you sort things out for you rather than, creating more stress or hassle in your life.
Hi Gunjan, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm good. How are you doing, Karan?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So Gunjan, first of all, thanks a lot for taking out time. And I know you are very busy these days. You are just ready to fly to UK to attend your dream program. So thanks a lot for you. Thanks a lot for taking out time, right, out of your busy schedule. And so we'll quickly cover certain important questions to basically understand your experience working with us through your application journey, right?
Sure.
So, Gunjan, why don't you start with a quick brief of your background?
Sure, definitely. So I'm a graduate of Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies, that's in Delhi University, and I pursued a bachelor's in management study with a specialization in marketing. And post that, I did about 2 years of work ex with FMCG companies and another year with an advertising agency. And I think post a year of working, I realized that there's something that I require a little more insight into the field of marketing, and I really need to probably do my master's to understand the field a little more. And at the same time, after being in Delhi for so many years, I realized I needed a lot more exposure in those terms, and I wanted to get out of the city and know what the world is like out there. So I think at one point I really felt like I needed to go out there and pursue my master's, and which is why I went ahead with applying for the same.
Okay, great. And just for the information of the audiences, right, which schools did you apply to? You applied to masters in marketing, right? So which schools did you apply to, and what have been the final results?
So I applied to Cranfield, Manchester, and then there was Warwick, Imperial, and a European school which was ESCP. And out of that, I got an admit from Cranfield and Manchester.
Okay, and I guess for the European school, ESCP, right? And Imperial, you were shortlisted for interview?
Shortlisted for the interview, and I was waitlisted for the longest time. I think I very recently got a reject. It was a sad one, but I'm happy with the
Imperial. Okay, great. So, Gunjan, trying to understand, obviously, when you're looking to go abroad for your higher education, there are a lot of factors which you need to keep into consideration while you freeze an admission consultant for you. Just trying to understand your thought process there. What made you enroll with Lilac Buds?
Right. So I was referred to Lilac Buds through a friend of mine. He, however, did a counseling call with you, but for some reason could not go ahead with any counselor at all. But he suggested that I go with you. And from the first call, I was pretty sure that I wanted to go ahead with Lilac Buds. You had me on the first call. I think I had my first call with Prayash, the first counseling. And I realized that I wanted a team which would just let me be stress-free throughout the entire process. I should not have to, be constantly calling people that, okay, I need an update on this, or, what should I do? It was very smooth that way. And I realized that in the very first conversations with you. And already the entire process of applying is very stressful. So you need to have some sort of a mentor who's always there for you to, make you understand about things, to help you sort things out for you rather than, creating more stress or hassle in your life. So that's why I've just realized that going for Lilac Buds was a no-brainer. And there are so many other players in the market who are very massy in their approach. Like, you might not get as much one-to-one time with your mentor as much as I did with Lilac Buds. So that was a great experience that way.
Okay, great. And how was your experience using the Lilac Buds portal, right? The technology portal. I mean, what are your views on that? How did it make your experience streamlined?
So again, I like my life to be stress-free. So the portal in the similar manner was just very simple and it was very easy to use. Like be it attending calls with you or having, sharing the documents with you, or even most importantly, the Kira interview preparation that I did with the portal, it was really helpful because it gave me like a very real life experience of what a Kira interview would be like. So that way, it was really helpful. And when you also the AI writer on the website is another great feature that's there.
Okay, great. And for your applications, you happen to have closely worked with myself, right? So, how was your experience working with me? And if there is any feedback, what would that be?
So I've had a great experience working with you, Karan. I'm someone who's very confused at times as to what I want to do. At one point, I also thought about doing an MBA, but having discussed all of that with you, having discussed my long-term, my short-term plans, and I got very simple and just the right kind of answers that I was actually looking for. So that way, it was a great experience, and you were always available whenever I needed you. And we could easily fix the call, and communication was great with you. So that way, I think I've had a great experience. I had really no expectations at all with even knowing how this counseling process even works like. But I think any day I would suggest Lilac Buds to any of my friends or whoever's applying to universities abroad.
Great. Thank you, Gunjan. Encouraged to hear a good experience which you had while working with me, right? And finally, Gunjan, so you've gone through the entire process. I guess you enrolled with us last year in July, if I'm not wrong, right? So it's been almost more than a year now, where you've been in our touch and at right instances working together for your dream admit. So, and I'm sure there would be a lot of learning instances for you as well from this entire journey. So just wanted to understand that what would be the advice that you would give to other aspirants who would be looking to go abroad for a master's in marketing? What would be your golden nuggets?
I think the first one would be going abroad to study. It's a huge step, not just financially, but also emotionally. It's a huge step that you're making, and you're in your early 20s, you have your whole life ahead of you. So you need to be very sure of what you're doing. You need to do a lot of research, not just with the colleges that you're applying to, but also about your own self, whether you really want to go for this, whether your profile fits or not, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your achievements have been throughout your life, and how they really would actually help you in getting to the college that you actually want, or maybe even discover a college that you never even knew about. Like for example, University of Manchester, I had not heard about it. And I did not know how prestigious Alliance Business School was. It's going to complete its 200th year when I'm joining. And the more I researched about it, the more I was sure about it, I realized how it's a perfect fit for me. So that way, researching, internalizing all of it is very important. And maybe consider every application to be your final one. Don't just casually apply, but apply to every college very seriously. And lastly, I think you suggested that I should talk to alumni from each university, and that was very helpful. I reached out to everyone on LinkedIn, and I'm still in touch with a lot of people who previously attended Manchester, and I'm also going to be bugging them in the future about how to apply for internships or part-times, and that really helps talking to them, getting that personal experience from each of these people. It's really helpful. Yeah, these are the.
No, I guess these are very relevant points, Gunjan, I would say. And I'm sure whoever looks at this video at a later stage will find it very useful, right? So this was a quick, thanks a lot for this quick chat, Gunjan, and letting us know about your experience working with us, plus, your piece of advice to the younger aspirants who would be looking to go abroad for a master's in marketing. And from our side, I will always be in your touch. Whenever you need any support, please reach out to me. And thanks a lot for taking on.